Today it's Narasimha Jayanti, so we will be reading from the seventh canto of the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, where this pastime of Lord Nrsimhadev is mentioned. How many of us heard about Hiranyakashipu? How many of us have not heard about Hiranyakashipu? Okay. So Hiranyakashipu was father of Prahlad Maharaj. Hiranyakashipu performed a severe type of austerity for material benefit. जो austerities का हिंदी वर्ड क्या है? तपस्या. So austerities can be performed for two broad reasons. One is for material advancement and another one is for spiritual advancement. Tapa. Tapa is very important for any advancement. And that's why we see for material advancement at times people work 16 hours, 18 hours, research is happening, people are working very, very hard. We see all this innovations happening. It's not happening just like that. A lot of tapa is going on. But it is for material advancement. Tapa is very important. Sacrifice, austerity is very important. But our Shastras say, especially in human form of life, tapo divyam. The kind of tapa which we have to perform, austerities which we have to perform are divine austerities, which are meant for elevation of our consciousness. Anyway, a lot of people are performing tapasya, austerities. Today we have mobile phones. It's a tapasya it's a siddhi in one sense. 20 years back, you have to go kilometer to just make one trunk call. Today, sitting here, you can talk to anybody in the world. And thanks to Jio, incoming call, outgoing call, free. I remember my college days, if I have to make a call home, there used to be pulse, STD pulse. And those days were my whole 6 months hostel expenses, everything, my father used to send 6,000 rupees. That was for the entire 5 months semester. And those days to make one call, STD call, in the normal time the pulse was 1 second. 1 second, 1 rupee. One pulse is 1 rupee. And if it is morning 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock, it is 2 seconds is 1 pulse. And if it is in the night time, it is 4 seconds is 1 pulse. And then you are making a call and then your heart is beating. The meter is running. Every second you are talking, theek hai na, theek hai, theek hai. Because every second matters. You speak for 30 seconds, 30 rupees bill will come. Those days. So now because of tapasya, you see today we can freely talk to anyone. It's tapasya. It's a result of that tapasya. So even Lord Brahma, the chief personality within this universe, became somewhat perturbed and disturbed, personally went to see why Hiranyakashipu was engaged in severe austerity. Now, Hiranyakashipu was also performing tapa for what? For spiritual advancement? For becoming immortal. For becoming so powerful that no one can kill him. No one can subjugate him. No one can overpower him. That was his motivation to do tapasya. Hiranyakashipu wanted to become immortal. He wanted not to be conquered by anyone, not to be attacked by old age and disease, and not to be harassed by any opponent. That was his motivation. Thus he wanted to become the absolute ruler of this entire universe. Even the so-called tapasya which is happening, material tapasya, it is actually for this only. A lot of innovation is happening in the medical field. How we don't get diseased. How we can eradicate malaria. how we can find a drug where we can conquer diseases like cancer. It is to conquer death, old age, disease, lot of research happening, anti-aging. Thus, he wanted to become absolute ruler of the entire universe. With this desire, he entered the valley of Mandara mountain and began practicing a severe type of austerity and meditation. Seeing Hiranyakashipu engaged in this austerity, the demigods returned to their respective homes. But while Hiranyakashipu was thus engaged, a kind of fire began blazing from his head. Because of severe tapasya, there was a fire blazing from his head, disturbing the entire universe and its inhabitants, including the birds, beasts, and demigods. When the higher and lower planets became too hot to live on, now because of that tapasya, intense tapasya, the fire emanating from his head, the entire universe started getting heated up. When the higher and lower planets became too hot to live on, the demigods, being disturbed, left their abodes in the higher planets and went to see Lord Brahma, praying to him that he curtail this unnecessary heat. The demigods disclosed to Lord Brahma Hiranyakashipu's ambition to become immortal, overcoming his short duration of life and be the master of all the planet system, even Dhruvaloka. So why generally people do tapasya? So that we can become the Lord. We can become the master. We can be the controller. The many things are not in our control. Cure for diseases is not in our control. Too much of heat, too much of cold. So we are doing tapasya, how we can control it, how we can master the conditions. Upon hearing about the purpose of Hiranyakashipu's austere meditation, Lord Brahma, accompanied by great sage Bhrigu and great personalities like Daksha, went to see Hiranyakashipu. He then sprinkled water from his kamandalu, a type of water pot, upon Hiranyakashipu's head. Hiranyakashipu, the kind of Daityas, the king of the Daityas, bowed down before Lord Brahma, the creator of this universe, offering respectful obeisances again and again and offering prayers. Even Daityas or demons, they also are devotees of God. Yes or no? Even Ravana was a great devotee. Even Kamsa, he knew a lot of philosophy. So even Hiranyakashipu knows he is doing tapasya to achieve benediction from Brahma, who is the creator of the universe. Is Brahma the creator of the universe? Yes, no. How many of us say yes, Brahma is the creator of the universe? Creator, maintainer, and annihilator. Brahma is the creator. So Krishna का क्या रोल है? Krishna is sanctioned. So Brahma is secondary creator. Prajapati. So first when this universe came about, Lord Brahma came about. He is the first created being and then he further created based on the instructions from the Lord. He is a secondary creator. When Brahma, the first instruction what Brahma got, anyone knows? What is the word he heard? Ta and pa, tapa. Same. For any creation to happen, you require tapa. Any creation to happen, tapa is required, material or spiritual. So Brahma did tapasya and then he got all the knowledge, all the ingredients to create. So Hiranyakashipu, the king of the Daityas, bowed down before Lord Brahma, the creator of this universe, offering respectful obeisances again and again and offering prayers. When Lord Brahma agreed to give him benedictions, he prayed not to be killed by any living entity, not to be killed in any place, covered or uncovered, not to die in daytime or at night, not to kill by any weapon, on land or in air, and not to be killed by any human being, animal, demigod, or any other living entity, living or non living. He further prayed for supremacy over the entire universe and requested the eight yogic perfection, such as Anima and Lagima. So पूरा लिस्ट बना दिया, कुछ नहीं छोड़ा. From all angles he secured himself. डे में भी नहीं मरना, रात को भी नहीं मरना, आदमी से भी नहीं मरना, पशु से भी नहीं मरना. And he was, in fact, Brahma, when he was praying to Brahma, Brahma said, I myself am not immortal. How can I give you this benediction? So then, in a roundabout way, he asked okay, all this benediction. So I'll read out, it's a very detailed one. So let's understand how the mind works. O my Lord, O best of giver of benediction, if you kindly grant me the benediction I desire, please let me not meet death from any of the living entities created by you. Pehli condition. Any living entities created by you. Now this is important because you know that how eventually the Lord will follow all these conditions. Because it appears that this is foolproof. Foolproof. किसी से भी नहीं मर सकते, इस डायरेक्शन से नहीं मर सकते, ऊपर नहीं मर सकते, नीचे नहीं मर सकते, आसमान में नहीं मर सकते, जमीन में नहीं मर सकते. You see, it's a foolproof set of conditions. And then the Lord, respecting all these conditions, finally kills Hiranyakashipu. Let me not meet with death from any of the living entities created by you. Now Brahma is the secondary creator. Everything is created by him. So पहली condition में ये सबको निकाल दिया. Grant me that I not die within any residence or outside any residence, during the daytime or at the night, nor on the ground or in the sky. Grant me that my death not be brought by any being other than those created by you, nor by any weapon, nor by any human being or animal. So now let's recap. Condition number one by one. Shiriji, what condition? Anyone created by you. Condition 2. Inside the residence or outside the residence. Condition 3. Not in the day, not in the night. 4. हाँ वो बोला है क्या इसमें अभी बोला था इसमें okay, not in the ground, not in the sky. Anything else? Yeah, not by any animal or a man or any human being or animal. Any other condition? Oh, great. Living being and non-living being. Anybody else? Not by any weapon. Yes. Other than those created by you. Grant me that I not meet death from any entity, living or non-living. Grant me further that I not be killed by any demigod or demon or by any great snake from lower planet. इस planet का cover करके lower planet का भी. Any snake, any animal, any demon, any demigod. Since no one can kill you in the battlefield, you have no competitor. Therefore, grant me the benediction that I too have no rival. Give me sole lordship over all the living entities and presiding deities. And give me all the glories obtained by that position. So why he wanted to become all this? Why he wanted all this power? So that he can be the Lord. Everyone is under his control. His supremacy is unrivaled. Actually, heart of heart, we are also trying to do that. We are also trying to secure ourselves. वो अलग बात, हम इतने powerful नहीं हैं, but we are also trying in our own way to secure ourselves. इंश्योरेंस पॉलिसी में बहुत सारी चीज़ें कवर कर लेते हैं हम लोग, ये भी आ जाए, वेदर भी आ जाए, फायर भी आ जाए, ये भी, एवरीथिंग गेट्स कवर्ड. कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव इंश्योरेंस पॉलिसी. Since no one can kill you in the battlefield, you have no competitor. Therefore, grant me the benediction that I too have no rival. Furthermore, grant me all the mystic powers attained by long austerities and practice of yoga, for these cannot be lost at any time. So, this is the benedictions which Hiranyakashipu asked in return for his penances and austerity. That was the motive. He was doing a lot of tapasya. It seems he did so much of tapasya that sitting in one place, meditating, that his whole body was covered by ant hill. एक जगह पे बैठे हो तो then ants, they generally make their house, colony. Whole body was covered with that. And the motive of that tapasya was when he gets this benediction, he'll be asking this. So first part is clear now. He got the benediction, Brahma, because he was so determined, so this thing, he gave that benediction. Then, as we know, Prahlad Maharaj was his son. And Prahlad Maharaj was a great devotee of the Lord, devotee of Lord Vishnu. And from his very childhood, he was always chanting the names of Vishnu, remembering Vishnu, talking about Vishnu, speaking to his friends, class friends about Vishnu. And knowing that Prahlad Maharaj is a devotee, or he is talking all these nonsense things, Hiranyakashipu engaged two teachers, Shanda and Amarka, basically to ensure that he forgets all these things, to remove all these things from his head and teach everything to do with politics, which is so-called required in this material world. So now, we see in this world, there are so many godmen, so many philosophies, so many religions, so many scriptures, and so many contradictions. कोई बोलता है मूर्ति पूजा करो, another religion से मूर्ति पूजा मत करो. Any other contradiction which is very glaring? कोई बोलता है कि भगवान व्यक्ति हैं, कोई बोलता है नहीं भगवान व्यक्ति नहीं है. Anything else? Yes. So a lot of contradictions, many, even among so-called believers of God, there is contradiction. And among so-called teachers of a particular religion, there is difference of opinion. Even if you read Bhagavad Gita, different interpretations which are there in the market, you will get different meanings. Mahatma Gandhi, he wrote a commentary on Gita, and then because he was practicing non-violence, civil disobedience movement, he actually interpreted Gita saying that the five Pandavas represent the five senses, the Kauravas represent all the vices. There's always a battle. There's actually no battle of Kurukshetra. There's a battle of vices and virtues. It's an interpretation. Dharma Kshetra, Kurukshetra. This Kurukshetra represents the battlefield within our own self. Like that. So how do we get the right meaning? How to get the right understanding? So Bhagavatam is explaining that to get the right understanding of what is actual religious principles, we have to go to, just like if you were to talk about batting in cricket, Suppose a person batted well or not well, whose opinion, whose comments, sometimes expert commentators are brought, whose comment do you think with respect to batting would be very, very valuable? Who? People like Sunil Gavaskar. He was a great batsman. If he says that yes, he batted very nicely, yes, his words have value. Anybody else? Tendulkar, because they have been great batsmen, right? So in that sense, they excelled in that respective field. So their words have meaning. So Bhagavatam says, as far as religious principles is concerned, dharmasya, the tattva, the essence, we can approach Mahajanas. They are like personalities who are very exalted devotees themselves, and they have correctly understood what is the essence of religious principles. And by following them, by following their instructions, we can also get the correct understanding of what is real religion. So, what are the 12 Mahajanas? Anyone would like to help me one by one? Raise your hands if you know. Who are the 12 Mahajanas? The Bhagavatam recommends that if you have to approach, if you have to understand true religious principles, you can follow in the footsteps of these great Mahajanas. Mahajano yena gatasa pantha. You follow in the footsteps of these great Mahajanas. Yes, one. Dhruva Maharaj. Is Dhruva Maharaj a Mahajana? Yes. Wait, one by one, one by one. सबको chance देना है, बाकी सब सो रहे हैं. So, कौन सा बोला आपने? Bhishma. Yes, you're right. Bhishma is a Mahajana. Yamaraj. Yamaraj is also a Mahajana. Yes. Lord Shiva or Shambhu is also a Mahajana. 3. Janaka Maharaj is also a Mahajana. Great. Very good. Prahlad Maharaj is a Mahajana. 5. Bali Maharaj is a Mahajana. Great. 6. Anirudh. हाँ? जनक हो गया. Narada is a Mahajana. Wait. Yes. 7. Shiva हो गया. Yes, Lord Kapila is a Mahajana. Manu. Yes, very nice. Children know better than us. 2 answers have come from children. Kapila and what did you say? Prahlad Maharaj and Manu. Okay. 2 more left. 3 more left. Yes, 4 Kumaras. Parikshit. No. Shukadev Goswami. Yes. Brahma. The power of the body and the vital force of the senses. His influence is unlimited. He is the best of all living entities, the controller of 3 modes of material nature. By his own power, he creates this cosmic manifestation, maintains it, and annihilates also. Prahlad Maharaj continued, "My dear father, please give up your demoniac quality. Do not discriminate in your heart between enemies and friends. Make your mind equipoised towards everyone. Except for uncontrolled and misguided mind, there is no enemy within this world. When one sees everyone on the platform of equality, one then comes to the position of worshipping the Lord perfectly. In former times, there were many fools like you who did not conquer the 6 enemies that steal away the wealth of the body. Those fools who were very proud, thinking, I have conquered all enemies in all 10 directions. But if a person is victorious over the 6 enemies, and is equipoised towards all living entities for whom there is no enemies. Enemies are merely imagined by one's own ignorance. What are our six enemies? जिसको बोला नहीं है, जिसको आंसर पता है, please raise your hands. What are our six main enemies? Prahlad Maharaj is saying we have six enemies. Mind is one. Other five? What are the six enemies? Pakistan, mind, China, Kam, Krodh, Moh, Mada, Matsara. No. Five senses and the mind. One who thinks he has many enemies is mistaken. The real enemies is within himself, his uncontrolled mind and uncontrolled senses. These fools who think are very proud, thinking I have conquered all the enemies in all the 10 directions. We want to conquer enemies outside. What are the 10 directions? 10 directions. East, west, north, south. Northeast, northwest, southeast, southwest, up and down. These are 10 directions. If one thinks that I have conquered all the enemies in all the 10 directions, he is mistaken. The real enemies are within himself. The uncontrolled mind and uncontrolled senses. And it is not easy to control the senses. Even so-called God-men. We have recent case. Uncontrolled mind, uncontrolled senses. Hiranyakashipu replied, "You are trying to minimize my value as if you are better than me at controlling the senses?" So this is one of the quality of demons. They think that yes, they are in control. You don't try to teach me. You don't tell me that I have to improve. First you improve. This is over intelligent. I can therefore understand that your desire to die at my hand for this kind of nonsensical talk is indulged by those who are about to die. O most unfortunate Prahlad, you have always described a supreme being other than me. What is Hiranyakashipu saying? You always described a supreme being other than me. A supreme being who is above everything, who is the controller of everyone and who is all pervading. But where is he? If he is everywhere, then why is he not present before me in this pillar? Because you are speaking so much nonsense, I shall now sever your head with your body. Now let me see your most worshipable God come to protect you. I want to see it. अब कौन आने वाला है? Being obsessed with anger, Hiranyakashipu, who was great in bodily strength, thus chastised his exalted devotee son, Prahlad, with harsh words. Cursing him again and again, Hiranyakashipu took up his sword, got up from his royal throne, and with great anger struck his fist against the column. Then from within the pillar came a fearful sound, which appeared to crack the covering of the universe. O my dear Yudhishthira, this sound reached even the abodes of the demigods. Like Lord Brahma, and when the demigods heard it, they thought, oh, now our planets are being destroyed. While showing his extraordinary power, Hiranyakashipu, who desired to kill his own son, heard that wonderful tumultuous sound which had never been heard. Upon hearing the sound, the other leaders of the demons were afraid. None of them could find the origin of that sound in the assembly. The sound came from where? From the pillar. To prove that the statement of his servant Prahlad Maharaj was substantial, in other words, to prove that the Supreme Lord is present everywhere, even within the pillar of an assembly hall, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hare, exhibited a wonderful form never seen before. The form was neither that of a man nor of a lion. Thus the Lord appeared in his wonderful form in the assembly hall. So all the conditions which were asked by Hiranyakashipu were fulfilled. While Hiranyakashipu looked all around to find the source of the sound, that wonderful form of sound, form of the Lord, which could not be ascertained to be either a man or a lion, emerged from the pillar. In amazement, Hiranyakashipu wondered, what is this creature that is half man and half lion? Hiranyakashipu studied the form of the Lord, trying to decide who the form of Nrsimhadev standing before him was. The Lord's form was extremely fearsome because of his angry eyes, his resembled molten gold, his shining mane which expanded the dimension of his fearful face, his deadly teeth, and his razor-sharp tongue which moved like a dueling sword. His jaws parted fearfully, and his entire body touched the sky. His arms, which resembled flanks of soldiers, spread in all directions as he killed the demons, rogues, and atheists with his conch shell, disc, club, lotus, and other natural weapons. So many times we are bewildered. There are some people who become so powerful, the leaders become so powerful, at times some countries become so powerful, their leaders become autocrat, they seem to be wielding a lot of power, command, control. But then Krishna says, Mrityu Sarvas Char Chaham. I will, if a person does not surrender to me, then a person will have to surrender to me in my form as Mrityu, death. Hiranyakashipu murmured to himself, Lord Vishnu, who possesses great mystic power, has made this plan to kill me, but what is the use of such an attempt? Who can fight with me? Thinking like this, taking up his club, Hiranyakashipu attacked the Lord like an elephant. Just as a small insect falls forcefully in a fire, an insignificant creature becomes invisible. When Hiranyakashipu attacked the Lord, who was full of effulgence, Hiranyakashipu became invisible. This is not at all astonishing, for the Lord is always situated in pure goodness. Thereafter, the great demon Hiranyakashipu, who was extremely angry, swiftly attacked Nrsimhadev with his club and began to beat him. Lord Nrsimhadev, however, captured the great demon along with his club, just like Garuda might capture a great snake. So we all know that ultimately God is one, irrespective of which religion. We have so many Devis, Devatas, Vishnu, Narayana, Keshava, Krishna, Rama, Parshurama, Nrsimhadev. So for people it is very bewildering. What is all this? So many gods, so many Devis, so many Devatas, people worshipping different this thing. The right understanding is ultimately God is one only. It is not that for Christians there is separate God, for Hindus it is Krishna, for Muslims it is Muhammad, Allah. No. God is only one. Now just like here, Prahlad is a devotee of Lord Krishna. But to fulfill that conditions which Hiranyakashipu had got, the Lord advented in a Narhari Rupa form. Keshava Dhrita, Dhrita means accepted. Narhari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare. Keshava Dhrita Meena Sharira Jai Jagadisha Hare. Keshava Dhrita Buddha Sharira Jai Jagadisha Hare. So the same Lord expands, incarnates in various forms. For what? Can anyone tell me? For what? Why does he expand? Why does he incarnate? Protection of his devotees and yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata. Now when demoniac forces become very powerful, Dharma sanstapnarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. When Lord Nrsimhadev gave Hiranyakashipu a chance to slip from his hand, just like Garuda sometimes plays with a snake and lets it slip from his mouth, the demigods who were lost their abodes and who were hiding behind the clouds for fear of the demon. So the Devatas were also fearful of Hiranyakashipu. They had lost their abodes because Hiranyakashipu had become almost the lord of the three worlds. And who were hiding behind the clouds for fear of demon did not consider the incident very good. Just like Garuda, when holding the snake for a moment, just to play with the snake, chhod diya thoda sa. Have you seen sometime a cat catching a mouse? I have seen it. So cat jab चूहे को पकड़ती है, then for some time it just leaves it. थोड़ा रसा होता है. The चूहा tries to it just leaves it and leaves it. And again catch it. So when this Nrsimhadev also caught hold of Hiranyakashipu and left it. The devil, ये क्या कर दिया? Why is leaving him? Already fearful. थोड़ा तो there was some hope that he'll get killed, and then again he's left. So that's why it said they did not consider that incident very good. When Hiranyakashipu was freed from the hands of Nrsimhadev, he falsely thought that Lord was afraid of his powers. Therefore, after taking a little rest from the fight, he took up his sword and shield and again attacked the Lord with great force. So great demons, one of the qualities, they attack the Lord. By their words, by their actions, attack the Lord. As a snake captures a mouth or Garuda captures a very venomous snake, Lord Nrsimhadev captured Hiranyakashipu, who could not be pierced even by the thunderbolt of a king Indra. As Hiranyakashipu moved his limb here and there all around, very much afflicted as being captured, Lord Nrsimhadev placed the demon on his lap, supporting him with his thighs, and in doorway of assembly hall, the Lord very easily tore the demon to pieces with the nails of his hand. See, all the conditions are fulfilled. Where did he kill him? Place the demon on his lap. Why on the lap? It was neither on the ground nor in the sky. Supporting him with his thighs and in the doorway of the assembly hall. Neither outside nor inside. The Lord very easily tore the demon to pieces, not with any weapon, with the nails of his hand. Lord Nrsimhadev, mouth and mane were sprinkled with drops of blood, and his fierce eyes, full of anger, were impossible to look at. Licking the edge of his mouth with his tongue, the Supreme Personality of God, Nrsimhadev, decorated with a garland of intestine taken from Hiranyakashipu's abdomen, resembled a lion that had just killed an elephant. Nrsimhadev Bhagavan ki. Hiranyakashipu had been exactly like a fever of meningitis in the head of the three worlds. Thus, when the wives of demigods in the heavenly planet saw the great demon had been killed by the personal hand of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, their faces blossomed in great joy. The wives of the demigods again and again showered flowers from the heaven upon Lord Nrsimhadev like rain. My dear King Yudhishthira, the demigods then approached the Lord. They were headed by Lord Brahma, King Indra, and Lord Shiva, and including great personalities, saintly persons, and the residents of Pitraloka, Siddhaloka, Vidyadhara Loka, and the planet of the snakes. The Manus approached, and so did the chiefs of various other planets. All of them came near the Lord, who glowed with intense light. They individually offered their obeisances and prayers, their hands folded at their heads. Now all the Devatas, Brahma, Indra, all will be offering prayers, glorifying the Lord. Lord Brahma prayed, my Lord, you are unlimited and you possess. Now, you see, we say Brahma is the creator. What is Brahma saying now? The Srishti ke Karta. Who is the Brahma is the creator, Vishnu is the maintainer, and Shiva is the destroyer. Now the creator of the universe, what is he saying? Lord Brahma prayed, My Lord, you are unlimited and you possess unlimited potencies. No one can estimate or calculate your prowess and wonderful influence, for your actions are never polluted by material energy. Through the material qualities, you very easily create the universe, maintain it, and again annihilate it. What is Brahma saying? Who is creating it? You are creating it. You are maintaining it. You are annihilating it. Yet you remain the same without deterioration. I therefore offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Lord Shiva says, the end of millennium is the time for your anger. Now that this insignificant demon Hiranyakashipu has been killed, O my Lord, you are naturally affectionate to your devotee. Kindly protect his son Prahlad Maharaj, who is standing nearby as your fully surrendered devotee. So we'll stop here. Anyone has any question, anything you'd like to ask based on what we discussed? And then we'll have prasadam. Prasadam today, some of us may have, some may not have. Any question, anything like to ask? This is what we discuss. अगर आप नहीं पूछोगे तो next prayer will read out the next prayer of the saintly persons and King Indra. King Indra said, O Supreme Lord, you are our deliverer and protector. Our shares of sacrifice, which are actually yours, have been recovered from demons by you. See what is Indra saying? Our share of sacrifices, which are actually yours. Because the demonic king Hiranyakashipu was most fearsome, our hearts, which were your permanent abode, were all overtaken by him. Now, by your presence, the gloom and darkness in our hearts have been dissipated. O Lord, for those who are always engaged in your service, which is more exalted than liberation, all material opulence is insignificant. They do not even care for liberation, not to speak of benefits of kama, artha, and dharma. Just check prasadam has come. Yeah. So Prabhupada says they may have very powerful weapons, but unless the Lord sanctions, they cannot operate those weapons. Finally, the Lord has to sanction. When so many ugra karma and demonic qualities are increasing, if the Lord has to happen pralaya, he will use their weapons. प्रलय करनी है तो थोड़ा सा these people have so adamantly developed something, ठीक है यूज करेंगे, but it will happen when the Lord sanctions. It appears to us that they are in control, but actual fact is nothing moves without the sanction of the Lord. Lord has to sanction. It appears that we are the controllers, we can control things, we can do things. Even when we have to do some things, ultimately the Lord is the witnesser and sanctioner. He has to sanction. And if demons have to be killed, yes, Lord may sanction atom bombs also. Yes, Sunil. Yes. Protect himself. Which people have to protect themselves? See, what meets our eyes, there are higher causes and effects operating in this world. It appears that people of Jammu and Kashmir are suffering. Am I right? It appears. And because of what? Because of the atyachar done by so-called evil forces. I don't want to name here. It's getting recorded. Right? The higher principle is, the higher understanding is, everyone is getting what is due to him. This is the higher understanding. I remember having met one person and he said, Sir Vishweshwarya in Karnataka, because he built this dam, he envisaged the dam, today people of Mysore are very happy, are peacefully situated. In other words, what a person is saying is, if he had not conceived a dam and built a dam, all the people of Mysore would be suffering from floods. Isn't it? So, in other words, this person has changed the life of these people. हो गया ना ऐसे? Right understanding? Now, उनका कर्मा भी change कर दिया उन्होंने. According to their karma, they were supposed to have floods and all that. Now, one person came, built a dam, and their karma changed. Sunil, their karma changed? Karma is same. But पहले तो floods आते थे, अब floods आने बंद हो गए. So in other words, we see that somebody has done something and the karma of people has changed. So in other words, somebody can put an effort and change the karma. So this logic of as you sow, so shall you reap is not valid. As you sow plus effort of somebody, then you reap. Exactly, exactly. So this whole material energy is in a flux. जो आत्माओं को, that place where there is no floods, they were placed in the karmana daiva netrena jantur deha utpatyate. The immediate cause of not having floods appears to be Sarveshweshwarya, immediate cause. But the ultimate cause is these living entities who had the sukruti or the good of living peacefully without floods were placed there in that situation. Those living entities who had to face floods, they were taken out from Mysore and put in a place where floods come. Yes or no? In other words, we are getting what is due to us. Now that does not mean we don't. That's why Krishna many places in the Gita says you have the right to do your duty. If somebody attacks you, say ये तो मेरे कर्मा में ही है अटैक करना, आ जाओ. My karma is bad, maro. No, as a matter of duty, we'll protect. We'll fight very fiercely also to protect. But with the understanding that we may fight very fiercely, we may have the best of doctors, we may have best of medicines, but if the Lord does not protect, we will be killed. So in other words, the faith is in Lord's protection. As a matter of duty, we will do our duty. When I am fever, I will go to the doctor, I will go to the hospital. But I don't consider the doctor as God. Sometimes people say, Doctor ji, आपने मेरे को दूसरा जन्म दे दिया. You are God for me. That understanding is wrong. Doctor is an instrument in the hand of God to give you दूसरा जन्म. Any other question? So, O Supreme Lord, you are our deliverer. Through prasadam aaya kya? It's come? Okay. O Supreme Lord, you are deliverer and protector. Our shares of sacrifice, which are actually yours, have been recovered from the demons by you. Okay. Our shares of sacrifice, which are actually yours, have been recovered from the demons by you. So, the share of sacrifice, when we sacrifice, the sacrifice is meant for pleasure of Vishnu. And the Devatas also get portion of that sacrifice as prasad. Tapa, yeah. When we do Indra Yagna, actual beneficiary of that yagna is Yat karosi, yat asnasi, juhosi, dadasi, yat krushe, tad madarpanam. But they are also the beneficiaries, the demigods, who are part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. Now, when the Devatas, they snatch away that part of that sacrifice. So, which is actually yours, have been recovered from the demons. So, the demons had taken away that portion of sacrifice, has now been recovered away by you. So Hiranyakashipu did tapa. The actual tapa is meant for Lord Vishnu. He is the beneficiary of all sacrifices. But he did it for Brahma. He did it for Brahma. And when any sacrifice done, different Devi and Devatas also take a portion of that sacrifice. Now, those portions were snatched away by the demons. And now it says, now Lord, you have recovered that portion of sacrifice. So we'll stop here. Grantharaj, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Narasimha Jayanta ki.